Okay, here you go. I apologize for all the little messes here, but apparently the stylus pad is kind of if it gets too bad, then I could always rotate it over, but I'm going to see if this will work here. Okay, so you're given this equation. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to find a way to get the x's out of the bottom. You can't have x's in the bottom, it's bad. So what we're going to do is we're just going to try to find the least common multiple of all of the denominators. And so the least common multiple, and that is getting bad, so I'll just flip it around, of this x minus 4 and x plus 3. Well, there is no common factor between the two, and so the least common multiple simply is x minus 4 and x plus 3. So now what we do is we choose to go ahead and multiply both sides by that. The purpose is when we do multiply both sides, we are guaranteed to be able to cancel out common factors, namely x minus 4 and x plus 3. So I'm going to take that whole mess and distribute it into the numerator of each of the fractions. Now we have a negative 1 here as the first term on the right hand side. It is a fraction with a denominator of 1. The effect is that it's just going to multiply right into it. There's no need to consider it as a fraction specifically. Now, as I multiply through, I'm going to talk my way through the cancellations, because writing them out at this stage in the game is actually really, really messy. And so as I move through, I'm going to take this whole piece, all of that, as one unit, and I'm going to bring it through. This x minus 4 here will cancel out the x minus 4 on the bottom here, leaving us with the negative x and then the x plus 3 equals negative 1 times that stuff, because nothing cancels, minus, now here's where people tend to make mistakes. Be very cautious on this sign. The x plus 3's are going to cancel, leaving me with an x minus 4 factor along with the negative 3. Make sure the x minus 4 comes in parentheses. Now, once you have it in this format, you're going to make a huge mess of it, and then you're going to try to figure out what's left. So to do that, we are simply going to expand everything. It's another way of saying distribute. And so now this piece here, I'm actually going to take to the side and do, because it's a little nasty. But the idea here is that we're going to go ahead and distribute this through, and I'm going to take this in yellow, and I'm going to come over here and do that separately. So I've got my x minus 4 and my x plus 3, and when I distribute that through, I take each of these and I distribute them through the second factor here, and that's going to give me x squared plus 3x minus 4x minus 12, which gives me x squared minus x minus 12. So now I can bring that over here, so that when I distribute this through, I'm actually going to distribute that negative 1 through the x squared minus x minus 12. We'll take that piece here, and we'll just distribute that through here. Now, go through the distributions. Negative x times x is negative x squared, and then a minus 3x is equal to negative x squared plus x plus 12. That negative 1 just shifts the signs, and then the negative 3 gets distributed through as negative 3x plus 12. All you do is you clean this up. If you can notice, we have a negative x squared on that side and a negative x squared on this side. If I were to add x squared to both sides, these would eliminate, and I'm only left with the negative 3x is equal to, over here we can clean this up. So I'm going to take my positive x here, my negative 3x here, combine like terms, leaving me with negative 2x. Then I can take my positive 12 here, my positive 12 here, combine those, and I get a positive 24. Finally, to keep on this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add 2x to both sides because it'll probably be the easiest to do that. We're going to get negative x is equal to 24. Dividing both sides by negative 1, we get x is 24. Negative 24. So now, is negative 24 the answer? And the question, so we have to go back here, and we assume that all of our math is correct here. But now we got to go back to the original problem and say, oh, hey, by the way, any chance that we have restrictions? And the answer to this question is yes, there is a chance. It's a pretty good chance, like it's absolutely going to happen chance. And so we have x minus 4 is not allowed to be 0, and x plus 3 is not allowed to be 0. That means that x is not allowed to be 4, and x is not allowed to be negative 3. And that's really it. That's all you have to do. Now, since we didn't come up with an answer that was 4 or negative 3, as long as our algebra is correct, that's the answer, because it's not one of the unallowed. And that's really how you do all of them. But you can always ask a question. I'll be here to answer it. Hopefully this helps.